went well, it went very well. We had some very good contributions from the audience, from the panelists themselves, from the international lecturers. The moderator looked at both sides, positive and negative. The day in general took a lot of organisation, but I think we're very happy how well it went. The panel raised some very important points about social media and education, the transition to education, the positives and negatives of social media in the classroom, how distracted it can be, but also the collaborative approaches that can be used, and the fact that we're actually joining students using the technologies they're using in everyday life anyway, and utilising them to try and help them to remember the key points of lectures and reinforce it, especially as a revision tool to run up to exams and assessments. So I'm very happy with how it went.
There was a lot of interaction from some of the lecturers and a lot of interaction from the fellow members of the panel, but I think some of the panelists were probably desperate to get more information in there. So maybe if you have loads of time, I'm sure we'd have lots more to say, and possibly more on Twitter then as well, and Facebook, that we'll certainly be thrashing out a lot more opinions on.
I think the most important thing I really took out of the panel today is that we're thinking like people of our age. Like, I'm 33 and most of the panel was over 30, and the problem is, like, that means we're still sort of behind what the actual current moves are. Like, we were talking Twitter, we were talking Facebook, and to a degree LinkedIn. We weren't really talking Snapchat, we weren't talking WhatsApp. So I think that's where we're going to see the real moves, the questions, because and this comes across at both a business and academic level, if the business people and the academic types don't understand what the students are using, they're thinking about what they use, then they're not really going to be able to keep up and integrate into the classroom. They need to understand what the students are using. Like, talk to the 18-year-olds, talk to the 19-year-olds, go, what are you using? And then try and work out a way for them to integrate that into the classroom, into the boardroom.
I thought the panel was very interesting because it gave us an opportunity to hear possibly some of the ideas and thoughts that have been percolating but weren't necessarily tweetable. So the thing about Twitter, was it's very short, and we had a Twitter wall so we could see the tweets that were going on. But there were some people who had very in-depth ideas and thoughts that they wanted to get across, and they didn't always, fit in with what we ourselves might think of the landscape, because it's a new input from someone who hadn't had a voice previously. So I think it was quite interesting to hear that. And some of the things I took away from it was that students are engaging in a different way, and that some people are still thinking, which is possibly an old-fashioned way of thinking, that students shouldn't be allowed the technology in the classroom. And when I used to be a lecturer myself, and I wouldn't allow first years to have technology in the classroom because they were still adapting to this new learning process. College and university life is different from secondary school. However, in second, third and fourth year, I'd actually encourage them to take notes with their technology. And students would say, well, why wouldn't you let me do this last year? And often I would say as well, you have to learn how to learn before you can use the technology to enhance your learning.